on the left side, as you guys can see, it's kind of blurry, but on your left side you have, it doesn't matter if you're here or not. No, don't worry about it. On the left side it says before lesson, that's what you're going to focus on right now because actually you haven't learned this. And you're going to look at the statements in the middle. You can see right here, like the first one. The French gave the name Montreal to their first settlement in North America. Now you're going to read that statement, you're going to look on the left side, and there's an agree column or disagree, kind of like a true or false. So you're going to look at that, thank you. And put a check if you agree or disagree with that statement. Obviously you guys haven't learned about this yet. You're not going to know that much, but I'm just trying to see what you know. And also kind of give you a heads up what we're going to talk about in this lesson. So we could. So what do you guys think of the first one? The French gave the name Montreal to their first settlement in North America.
I agree. No. Disagree.
Disagree. Very good.
Isn't it in Canada?
Montreal, yes.
So we just check it off.
So you would do if you, obviously it's disagree. So you would check that off. And then for the rest of the statements, just do the same thing. Read it. If you agree. All right, is everybody done? All right, you do me a favor. You just put that to the side for now. We'll come back to that later. You can either put it in your desk or wherever you'd like. Next, we're going to focus on what we're going to do today with two of the European countries that were part of the competition for land, territory, wealth, and resources in North America. We're going to focus on, as we were talking about, the French and the Dutch. What I'd like to do today is start off with you guys reading the first part. The first section is about the colony of New France. It is the first 3 pages of the reading, 53, 54, and 55. You can just read that independently. We're going to do something with that in a little bit.
Just 350?
It's 53, yeah, just read 53, 54, and 55 about France before we get to anything else. Try to focus on some of the explorers that were French, some of the lands where they settled, and their interaction with the Native Americans and how you think it differed or was similar to the Spanish interaction with Native Americans in Latin America. You guys have all done the closed activity, right? Fill in the blank. Right? Right now, I'd like you to do this. You can work independently, or you can work with a partner if you'd like, or if you can handle it. This is just on the section that you just read about new friends. Like I said before, try to focus on the key explorers, the key settlements, how they interacted with Native Americans. And what kind of things they established in the areas they settled.
Teachers and students, please pardon this interruption. This is the final
And there's still heavy influence there, just like there's heavy influence of the French still in Canada. I mean, basically Quebec province and Montreal still speak French, which is different from the rest of Canada. Louisiana the same way. I've been down there a couple of times actually, and there's still heavy French influence down there. There's towns like Lafayette, Iberia, Delacroix, there's all towns like that that still have that French influence in them. So it's very important to know that these, although it's 400 years ago, this influence is still there from the French. Okay?
Like, if you were an explorer, like way back then, and you claimed land, other explorers that came over to explore it, how would they know that that's yours?
Well, if they claim land, they'd probably have some sort of settlement there. Some people, there would have to be some kind of population there.
But like, how would they know like the outside boundaries?
That's the thing. That's why there would be such confusion. That's why there would be such conflict when there were people were claiming land. Because there's no people didn't have the most accurate maps at that time. They didn't have stuff that was placed out. So I mean, they tried the best they could. But if you came over and you explored a region, you usually sent somebody back and you had settlers come, so you had a population there. So it was basically like you claimed it. Good question. All right, you guys have any questions? You guys need any? Is there any blanks? Okay.
This is the one that comes right after, all the way at the bottom, after
After 1682. All right, yeah, we were talking about LaSalle, so that's the next blank. LaSalle claimed the whole Mississippi River Valley for, who did he claim it for? Who have we been talking about? For France. Yeah, LaSalle. Which is also has an influence still here because there's colleges like LaSalle, there's a college called Marquette. So these names are still popular in our culture and part of our life still in the United States. Jason, did you get what you needed? You got it? Yeah.
One right before when we just said.
The river's exploration
Yeah.
was completed by a man named Cavalier, also known as LaSalle.
To discover California in the western part, did they sail like? Did the Chinese discover it and like go around? No.
In 1610, Dutch traders arrived in the Hudson River Valley and began to trade with the Native Americans.
All right, very good. 1610 was the year that they started to arrive in the Hudson River Valley. Who's that named after? Emily, who's that named after? The Hudson River. Right, the first paragraph on page 56.
Henry Hudson.
Henry Hudson, there you go. Still there today, obviously, between New York and New Jersey. Started with the Dutch. And then the last part of that was the Native Americans. Make sure you have that down. All right. So what happened with the trade? Andrew, what happened with the trade? The second one? The second line, the trade? Very good. The trade was very profitable. They talk about a company in there. Does anybody know what company was affiliated with the Dutch? Which they used for a lot, which was a heavy influence in a lot of their colonization all over the world, but also North America. MJ? Yeah, the Dutch West India Company. England had a company too. This was the Dutch company that helped. All right, you guys can put that in your classroom folder. All right, a quick review. With the French, we talked about how they first settled in modern-day Canada, 1600, just the same as the Dutch. They traded with Native Americans for fur, just as the Dutch had. Their first settlement, it's important to know, was Nova Scotia. Even though Quebec and Montreal are important states today, it was Nova Scotia was the first major settlement. There were two explorers that explored down the Mississippi River first. Can anybody tell me who they were? They started off in the Great Lakes, then went down the Mississippi River. They didn't get all the way down. Ellen? Marquette. Joliet. Very good. And then who ended up getting all the way down the Mississippi River and finding the Gulf of Mexico? Yeah, Bishop Fergus was the South. All right, very good. It's important to know. That was the French settlement. They started up in Canada and ended up making all the way down to what they ended up calling Louisiana. All right, with the Dutch, they started where? Anybody name the river?
Mississippi.
Nope. Tess?
Hudson River.
Hudson River. All right, very good. And then they ended up establishing New Netherlands. Who ended up coming and forcing the Dutch out? What country? Was it Native Americans? It was MJ? It was Europeans, but what country forced the Dutch out? You don't know? Anybody know? Anybody help them out? Andrew? England. England came in and forced them out, and they ended up setting up New York. Became one of the biggest cities. All right, last thing with the Indians, it's important to remember that they traded the furs for what? What did they get from Europeans? Nope. Not gold. Guns. Manufactured goods. Very important to know. That was the relationship that they had between the Europeans and the Indians in North America. And then eventually they end up getting diseases from them, that sort of thing. But, all right, very good. All right, yeah, can you guys...
I clicked the readings.
Actually, before we collect the readings or do any of that, can you guys take out the first worksheet I gave you with at the left column? You guys answer that with the agree and disagree. On the right side is what I'd like you to focus on now. It's the same exact setup. Read the statement, agree or disagree. Tell me what you know after the lesson. See if what you guys learned. Does everybody know what worksheet I'm talking about? Yes.